Hello, how y'all doing? Uh, yeah, I didn't know I was going to be this kind of awkward here. But I just realized I didn't send a link to Colin, and I'm taking care of that. Oh boy, man, yeah. I mean, there's a routine each stream, all the things you go through and stuff you got to do for the stream, and I just forgot to send out the link to Colin. So I had to, during this countdown, figure that out. And away we go. So anyway, that's enough of that. Those of you on the rewind, uh, this is live and things don't go right here frequently. But in any case, yeah, and it's my fault too. So anyway, Colin has been properly invited. Colin, if you're out there, I'm sorry about that. Well, I'm sure it's understandable given the circumstances. Man. Not only is it bad that England failed to be victorious today, it's they have to play France next. They don't even just get to go home, they got to play France. So in any case, we're going to enjoy ourselves anyway, watching American Knights saying things like "shut up" and "what are you doing here" and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to have fun here. Dragonheart 1996. And on this journey, we do have this lovely lady here. Hello, Liza Sahido of the Psyche Electroacoustic Opera Company. How are you?
Well, Gavin says one French stew coming right up.
We'll see. We'll
We shall
see. Yeah.
see.
France, I mean, you watched the whole match.
I
I
did.
watched about half of it. France, yeah, they were coming up short throughout the match with Spain. Of course, Spain is very good. And actually, I think I'm going to vote for Spain over Argentina in the next one. Because they are the kind of
Are
like
they the underdog?
I don't know if they technically are with the world rankings, but because of the star power and, this whole way they do things at FIFA, of course, Argentina themselves are like World Cup royalty, and Lionel Messi is like the second coming. And so it's just nice to root for a team where, as you pointed out, I recognize some of the players, but they're not the big superstars to get over promoted and stuff. And they play well and they play coordinated. You know, they're cool. So that's what I'm hoping for. Then England hopefully will do well against France. I think they can. France looks like a possibility, but if not, man, two, you can't lose to Argentina and then France two in a row, man. That's well. Anyway, we have an Englishman here who could be the voice of England today, so please do welcome this guy. Did I mention he's an archer? Hello, Colin. How are you?
Finally here. Getting
I am
paranoid that
sorry
maybe
about that.
that's okay. I didn't realise until about 5 minutes beforehand anyway, because I was playing
Yeah,
for
you
that
didn't
too.
notice either. Yeah, it's one of those
Yeah,
things we're so used to it. It's just
yeah.
like,
So I came back in against it and I thought, hold on a second, wait, what? Hold on. No. It's not spam.
what do we have here in the chat? Oh, that's one's from you. You get to speak to me in person now. And what is uh Colin? Yeah. So Flav's here with us. Yes, I know Colin needs a link. I realized it during the countdown. And yes, but Gavin did warn us.
Oh, thank you, Flav.
Gavin did
Leave
warn
them in the
us.
chat, it would be more fun.
Ardent's here. That's good. So, I don't know. I know you're not a sports ball person, so I guess we're going to let this go pretty
Like I said,
pretty
it's a
quickly
game.
here.
It's only a game, and it doesn't really matter.
Oh no, I'm not
We beat
depressed. It's just a
Argentina the one
shame.
time counted
Yeah.
in 1982. Nothing else really matters.
Yeah.
We beat French almost every time it counted. 1346, 1356, 1415.
And remember, the Normans weren't really French.
Correct. They were Vikings. That's why they're called Normans, because it's Norman as in Norseman.
Mm-hmm. And you dealt with the Vikings with Norway, so we're good.
Correct.
All right, so everything's fine in the realm of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and in fact,
Oh, I
even
wouldn't
in the
say
sub-realm
that.
of England,
I wouldn't
everything's
say
just
that
fine.
at all.
All is well. I mean, it's the country with Yorkshire pudding and spotted dick, so everything's all right.
That's cool. Well, this is true.
I think Lawrence was suggesting that we should make Yorkshire pudding during a stream one of these days.
Well, I think when we finish
Yeah.
season 2 of Babylon 5, maybe we take 1 week off and do because that's where it came up, It was on Babylon 5.
that's
Or-
true.
I remember there was weekly movies on, I don't know if it was TNT or TBS, but it was called Dinner and a Movie. And, it was one of those things where they're playing mostly the movie, but in the breaks where the hosts come on, they were cooking and making some recipes. This is Babylon 5 slides. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I forgot
Are
a
we
few
skipping
things
to
today.
Sunday? Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes, Veer, yes.
But I've got a cake more.
In case you don't know, folks, we do Babylon 5 on Sundays. Yeah, I'm going to have to take these down, and I did make the slides for Dragonheart. They're all done, but I didn't upload them. And so I just have the slides from Sunday.
Make sure it's not Friday the 13th today. Just checking.
We had a Monday the 13th 2 days ago. Let's see. I need to delete these. Oh my goodness, folks. So it's coming.
Gavin warned you.
Yeah.
He warned you.
Yeah, he did. He did before the show in the chat.
And it does not mean I sing at all.
It doesn't make a difference, no.
No.
All right, I'm working on it. We're going to get it here.
That's great.
See.
A ranger is sworn to Vala. I love it. I dub you the Red Knight, Sir Ardent Party.
Well, I'm uploading the slides, but it does some sort of processing while doing
Oh,
that.
no.
So it'll take probably like 30 or 40 more seconds. Anybody else have some news or things? A bit of I guess, previously on Mr. Brown Alliance, uninspired reviewer came in and he saw, he had seen the Odyssey, actually saw it, and he said it wasn't bad. And he started off saying, it was good. And then, of course, they wore him down to just saying, well, it wasn't bad.
I think he also admitted to being stoned at the time he saw it. So,
Right. Well, I respect someone that, says what they actually think rather than just saying, go with the flow. I just need to match all the memes. But, you felt like the tension there because Istophobos is like, see, you saw the right movie. People have been like railing on this for like 6 months. And it's like, what? Well, it came out. I don't know. I don't have a dog in this hunt, folks. I'm not going to see it. We haven't been to a theater in like 10 years.
Yeah.
So when we watch this in the future, which may not happen, it'll probably be a few years from now anyway. So we don't have a dog in this hunt. We're just here watching old stuff.
Well, yeah. I don't like spending tons of money and then being disappointed. It's like going to spending tons of money in a restaurant and then being sorely disappointed. So you stop going to restaurants. The same thing with theaters. the last movie Lawrence and I saw in the theater was the the title doesn't come to me. The Star Wars, the new trilogy, Star Wars. Guys, you fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
The Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens.
That's the
I'm
last
sorry,
time
my brain just
your
paused.
your brain is as bad as mine. Yeah.
Let me guess. You mean the remake of Far Better, A New Hope?
That's true. Yeah.
Yes.
It was a remake for modern audiences.
Yeah. Do you mean the last possible hope of a good movie, which was completely dilapidated, or The Rise of Palpatine? I can beat you. I'm afraid I can actually beat you by a great deal from now. I believe that the last film I saw in the cinema was the remake of Alexander.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
What year was that? Okay. Yeah, you beat us.
2004, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's even longer than us.
Yeah.
Well, it's so expensive.
My father passed away, but I have no connection to that.
Oh, and does anyone know, Flav, I know one time you requested, and we did it, kind of, a couple of years ago, we do Hans Zimmer, because we were focusing on composers along with the films. And we ended up doing Da Vinci Code. And last night I was listening to Da Vinci Code. I just put on the soundtrack, where the score actually comes together, which is the whole purpose of the thing. It's a brilliant score, actually, underrated, but basically it just builds slowly until things start getting revealed in the film. And then it really starts coming together and you get the strong theme, and it's a beautiful one. It's great. But anyway, I was listening to that kind of over and over last night, and it reminded me today where it doesn't matter what they're talking about, but Mega Geek always has to come on and start bashing on Zimmer for some reason. What did he do to him? I don't know. I don't think
show me on the door where Hans Zimmer hurt you, get it.
I don't think he's the greatest composer ever, but no one is, except for whoever the greatest is. Probably John Williams, maybe, but there's a couple others. It's just, if that's the litmus test, if you're not,
or just overall composers.
Oh, I mean film composers, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you,
it's underrated because his style of scoring has been copied so often, and it's become trite. But he originated that, I guess, that motif that you now even hear on AI commercials. You know what I'm saying? That piano motif that you hear on AI, that was from Da Vinci Code.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's not something that, I mean, it's strange because he's not a composer. Mega Geek's a director. Doesn't mean he doesn't have valid opinions and stuff, but it's just funny that he's just so angry about it. It's like, what did he do to him? It's not like I'm there like, Danny Elfman must be destroyed. What?
Danny Elfman is cool too, yeah.
Yeah, I like them.
They have their scores have their characters. When you listen to the scores, you know who the composer is, and that's true. How you know that. And
I like Eddie Serra,
something different
from the Fifth Element, and doing a lot of those films. Oh, with the director, I forget. There the memory goes again. DJ. Welcome to Earworms, where I try to remember things. The director, French guy. Talk about France. The director of The Fifth Element. Also did a few other things like that. Valerian in the City of 1,000 Deaths. I don't know, something like that.
I know the name. I can remember it. So clear. The interesting thing I thought about the Da Vinci Code was one of those books where I started reading the book and I ended up watching the film instead. But the odd thing about the Da Vinci Code, of course, is that it's another one. It's actually not the first book in the series.
Luc Besson.
But that's it. It's actually the second book in the Robert Langdon series. The first book is actually The one set in the Vatican. My brain
the one that they released after the Angels.
Angels and Demons is actually the first one, apparently. And I think I have read that. But that came out,
yeah, they released that second, but yeah, I in that it's almost like either one could be before the other because they were more episodic.
Yeah, they're not. And Angels and the Da Vinci Code was probably much better known, not least of which because it riffed off a lot of from the Holy Blood and Holy Grail, which has since been completely and utterly demolished as absolute fire and sun on it.
How do we know? I don't know about that theory in particular exactly, but yeah, Mary Magdalene usually doesn't get. I don't know.
It had.
She gets beat up on. She's like the Hans Zimmer of biblical figures.
One thing I did like, I actually liked because it's my sort of thing, was the way they actually sort of punned or made language confusion of Sangre of the Holy Grail. Because they said, okay, no, actually, it's not the San Graal, the Holy Grail. It's the Sang Graal, blood royal. That, literally, you move that G across one, and it completely changes the meaning of the phrase. Which I liked. I thought was a very clever device because it's a nice linguistic device.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I mean, I thought it was a good film and everything. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I like the score, and so I don't know. I just thought I'd bring that up because it's still a mystery to me why he is so passionate against Hans Zimmer. It's like whenever some other composer comes up, it's like he has to mention Hans Zimmer, and it's like, why? We're not. All right. Well, anyway, let's get back to this film that had a composer as well. It was Randy Edelman, and so I thought it was an okay score, nothing amazing, but it worked and it was all right in this film. And we're picking up where we left off last time. Bowen is in the mouth of the dragon. He's got his sword pointed upwards. If the dragon tries to chomp down on him, the sword, well, he said it'll go up into his brain, but I don't know if it's that far back. But in any case, let's just put it this way. They're in a standoff. Yes, I mean, we'll have to consult a dragon neurologist on that.
Actually, this is true. Yeah, we don't know where a dragon's brain is.
But visually, it looks like it would just cause a bad, sinus issue. But in any case, here, we do have also a film clip that I forgot to load, so I'm going to upload that now. But, it's kind of like this standoff between the two. And it's going to wear on until one of them relents, I guess. But in such a situation, whoever relents could be in for a quick and sudden death, especially the human being. But this clip is pretty cool here, and I can play it now.
Oh, who'd the fatal false step make? Whose blood would stain the ground?
Was that Shakespeare?
Perhaps.
No, but it sounds like it. That's the point, I think. It sounds very Shakespearean.
And he does the yawn just as they're indicating the dragon's probably getting a bit tired of having his mouth open like that.
Yeah.
And then we see goop and goo and
Yeah,
Oh
it's a
yeah.
disgusting scene.
Well,
It
Bowen does pull
yeah.
out parts of dead knights.
It's
I like the
slimy.
way
It's
I like the
nasty.
way that Draco has to talk with you out all the time.
Yeah, which makes
Oh,
Sean
God,
Connery even,
that
you know,
hurts. That hurts the jaw doing that.
yeah, gives him a challenge, shall we say.
Yeah.
All right. So, smelly stuff and all that. But anyway, I guess we'll move on so Liza doesn't get upset. So anyway, it looks like I guess Bowen just gives up and just like flops out. It's too disgusting for him, but they know they're in
No,
still.
doesn't get blown out or something with a sort of cough or something.
Oh yeah, maybe it was a sneeze.
Maybe different. I got the impression that when he sneezed cough, it was that he was actually pushed out.
Yeah, the dragon spits him out.
Oh, okay.
Meaning he
Well,
could have done that. Probably could have done it all. Actually, no,
we
maybe
should
not.
have
I mean,
done
because it's
that
an involved.
earlier. Kind of like something I pointed out the other day. Sorry for the tangent, folks, but Ardent Party's here for the tangents. Yeah, I was thinking about that one thing. I don't know if you've heard of Cecil. Back in the day, Cecil from Cecil Says, which is primarily Rumble now because he got
Was that
kicked off
Cecil,
of
the
YouTube.
C6C server?
No,
Or
it's
Cecil
just
in the end, or was that the same one?
the Cecil that got kicked off YouTube.
I
But
don't-
way
I-
back
I
in the day,
can't-
he had his channel was called Dick and Comics, diversity, inclusion, um, something, and kindness. So anyway, back in that time, he did some spoofs, and some of them were really actually intelligent. I mean, he brought up the point, E.T., you know, when you get to the climax of the film and John Williams scores lifting you off, you know, ET's lifting all these children on
Lifting
their
you
bikes
off?
and flying
Oh,
through the air. And so I'm thinking, you know, just like Cecil said, it's like, why didn't you do that to begin with? Like
yeah.
when the saucer comes down on Earth and ET's walking around and stuff, and then the saucer's going in a hurry, why didn't he just fly up? You know, well, I guess you would have had to knock on the door and ask him to let you in. It might have been rough, but
Yeah.
instead he's just
I mean,
waddling on the ground. Well, anyway, back in the day.
what do you mean
Yep.
he's a knock on the door? We're in space.
Well, in the atmosphere before you get to space.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be scary. So what's going on here? Yeah, he's like, all right, the dragon's got a proposal because, you know, if Bowen kills the dragon, then the dragon slayer doesn't have a job anymore. And then if dragon kills Bowen, it's still bad for Bowen. So it's like, you know, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look like a victory here for Bowen helps anybody. And so, or a defeat. So it's like, how about this? It's like, all right, I'll hear you out. I'll hear your plan. And then we have a dramatic shift to another scene. So we'll find out later what that plan is. I don't know if there's anything people want to mention here. Nope. Well, it's daytime again. Back in Slovakia is where this was shot. But, you know, I don't know. I guess technically it's supposed to be like 11th century Britain, but it is fantasy. You know, do you guys, I guess you guys do have fields like this, but most of them
Yeah.
have crop circles in them. Slovakians don't
10th
have those.
century.
Oh, so wow, we see these poor field peasants seeing a dragon in the air, and that will get you to take notice. Although, is this accurate historically? Was it the 11th century when dragons used to fly around and attack villages? Or was it before that?
I think it was a completely different universe.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it must have been something when people first dug up like the first pterodactyl.
This is another one of those ones where even though they give you a definitive time when it's actually set, it's another one which doesn't actually fit within known history.
Right.
You know, because they should be Anglo-Saxons in the 980s, as someone pointed out last week.
Well, and Bowen, yeah, he's really out of place. But in any case, he was a good horse rider. That's probably why Dennis Quaid got it.
He's about 600 years at least out of place without accent, but we won't go into that.
Yeah. Although the accent in the 11th century was probably a little different than what we're hearing in the film anyway.
Yeah, very different. Yeah, like hardly any French in it. But
yeah. All right, but they know how to build. Look at that stuff. More building. I don't know what they're building. Maybe grain silos.
Yeah, I mean, because why are they putting it right in the middle of a grain field?
Aren't they rebuilding the Roman wall that Einon wanted to have restored?
You mean Hadrian's Wall?
He mentioned a wall. I don't know if it was Hadrian's Wall, but he mentioned a wall that was running through his land, and he said that he was gonna rebuild it and make it greater.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
a wall then.
Yeah, we don't actually know. I don't think what Einon is king of.
Right.
True.
You know, he's king of his kingdom.
Something of his kingdom, wherever that is.
Yeah. We don't know if it's a kingdom in presumably Britain because they go to Avalon.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But even that's not necessarily the case because they fly their own dragon back.
True.
But we don't know if his kingdom is sort of supposed to be England or supposed to be a kingdom within.
I think he's more of the petty king type, so it'd be king of that region.
Yeah, he's not sort of a high king or king of.
Yeah. Well, at least one would hope.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that kind of disposition.
In all of these medieval stories, you never know where they really are. Like King Vortigern in Merlin 1998, where was that?
Well,
did they specify what he was king of? And the same thing with
well, that would have been High King, I think. Or no, there were warring factions there too.
Yeah, they make a point, if I remember right, in Merlin of being England and Wales. They make a point because you've got the dragons.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, indeed, in a lot of them they don't because.
So the Welsh was Uther. Uther represented the Welsh.
The one of the theories is that, yeah, basically what you've got the Wessex flag of Wessex. An old ancient flag was Wessex flag, which is a dragon. Flag of Wales is a dragon. So one of the theories was that the two dragons fighting represented England and Wales.
Right.
Although, of course, at the point that Arthur probably existed, there was no England and there was no Wales. But
that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So no one really knows what they're king of.
It's just
it doesn't matter for the story,
Wales,
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just this would be Proto-Welsh.
Yeah. I mean, it's a mythic. It's a mythical setup. So, you know,
but they confused matters by mentioning the Normans because that happened in Merlin, and we talked about it at the time because Normans is like 11th century, and this was probably more like 6th century when Arthur lived.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, the dragon is flying around, and he's cooking things. Man, it was like getting flashbacks of Vietnam and stuff in this. That's what napalm is made out of, dragon breath.
Yes. Bum, 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 bum.
And it was like exploding and stuff too.
Yeah,
It's like,
it seemed really weird that, you know, fire coming from a dragon explodes once it hits the ground. Were there explosives on the ground?
I love the smell.
For shooting,
I love the smell of dragon breath in the morning.
Oh gosh.
Smells like victory.
Excuse me. What is so? Go back aside again a second, Lawrence.
Yep.
Is that guy on the right a furry?
A furry.
He looks like he's in. He looks like he's in a teddy bear outfit. I think it's just clothes in the.
I don't know. That might be the asbestos fire suit.
Yeah. No, I mean, it looks. It's probably literally just the way his clothes are flying as he's running.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they CGI'd it, but it looked too good to be real. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
No, I don't think they CGI'd it. That's probably why we get inappropriate explosions. Happening. They had to set the fire somehow, and they thought that this was the easiest way. But again, it has the wrong look for dragon fire, for an organic fire. I don't know. Created by a being.
Or practical effects.
I definitely think it's practical effects here. Yeah.
I suspect it's probably practical effects enhanced with CG, perhaps.
It could have been enhanced to make them more robust explosions, because they certainly did. I mean, we were saying this is not realistic. I mean, never mind the dragon there, but, you know, dragon breath. I've never known it to do that.
But it was dramatic. I mean, for the movie, the sounds of the explosions, I guess they needed that for the drama.
Yeah, and then if you, not only that, but if you actually look at it, if you know what's actually going on, of course.
Hey, Draco. Alex, welcome.
Oh, Modern Light and Magic produced. Yeah, I think you're right. They did have real explosions, but it was enhanced.
But also, if you think about it, what Draco is doing here, as we find out later on, spoilers for 50-year-old movie. What he's actually doing is he is not trying to kill and burn people. He's not, because look, no one gets injured. No. He's literally putting on a show. He's trying to make it dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you can imagine that if you are an intelligent creature which is able to breathe fire, you may be able to control to some degree how that breath happens. I mean, there's a difference between whistling and burping, to be slightly crude.
But here we're getting like clouds of dirt being stirred up and everything.
What back in the day would a medieval peasant own that's explosive?
Nothing.
So even if Draco's like, I'm going to target that, it wouldn't have exploded that way.
I think they wanted explosions because they were they're kind of big in Hollywood and stuff. And around this time, well, this was 5 years after Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. And of course, the centerpiece of that film is the exploding barrel of the gunpowder that Morgan Freeman brought.
The centerpiece of that film is Alan Rickman. So Alan Rickman was the centerpiece of any film he's in, but the centerpiece of that film is you, my bedroom, 10:30. You, 10:45.
Did you know that Alan Rickman was an incredible baritone?
No, I didn't.
When I was in college, I got happily recruited into a production of Gilbert and Sullivan's The Gondoliers, and I only had a short amount of time to learn my part in the score. was part of the male choir of all things. And I found a DVD of the opera so that I could, flip through the score and hear the music as I was flipping through the score and look at the choreography and stuff, because the director wanted us to give input into what was happening on stage and as far as our movements and choreography were concerned. And Alan Rickman sang the part of the gondolier. I forgot his name. Marco. I don't remember which one was the baritone, Marco or Giuseppe. But he played the part of the gondolier who was the baritone. I was like, oh my god, this guy can sing. That's amazing.
That's 5% more than I know about the gondoliers. I know it's a Gilbert and Sullivan opera.
Yeah. Gilbert and Sullivan.
Yes, I played a gondolier. Yeah, I was part of the boys. It was fun.
Which predates Lloyd Webber and Rice.
In that case, either that was before your voice broke, or you've got an incredible range of a voice, because you ain't no baritone.
No, I ended up. What happened was no. I ended up singing alto. No, I sang the female part of the choir, but they didn't have enough guys in the production for the gondolier, so they were like, could you be a guy? And I was like, oh, I was kind of bummed at first because the costumers had really pretty dresses for the ladies. I was like, oh, I want to wear one of those dresses. I was like, no, I'll join the guys. And it turned out we had so much fun being part of the guys,
If this was a modern version, did you have to, or did you sort of lower your voice, or did you just sing with your normal voices?
I just sang with my normal voice, but the choreography was very. There were in rehearsal. The guys would laugh at me and give me guy walking lessons because I walked too feminine. It was like, no, you look like a gay pirate here. You have to, do this, and yeah, they call me. They was like, yeah, you look like Captain Jack Sparrow, but on the other side, it's. They gave me walking lessons. It's like how to approach the ladies on stage. So they helped me a lot with the choreography.
Cool. It was nice.
Yeah.
It was good. Very good.
It was fun.
Good to see Baron AWK in the chat.
Elderberries. Yes.
Elderberries. Who smells of elderberries?
I love elderberries, Gavin. Of course I would smell of elderberries. Come on. We grow elderberries. So we have an excuse as to why we smell like elderberries.
Oh, we have a few trees.
Yes.
All right. Are we moving on? Or Colin had something to add, I believe.
No, I was going to say actually combining the two there, because go back one again.
Uh-huh.
Because I don't know, but for some reason, maybe it's just because I just mentioned that particular scene, but I can almost get a Sheriff of Nottingham, Alan Rickman vibe from this, because he's coming out in the middle of the day and apparently pulling his trousers on. So what was he doing? Unless he was sitting on the loo, what was he doing that he's not got a shirt on, which is very much a no-no for medieval period. But he's basically he's getting dressed in the middle of the day. What was he doing? I think we actually find out what he was doing, and it's blonde. But he's coming out in the middle of the day, and I just so what were you doing in the middle of the day that you're just getting dressed?
Yeah, well, you didn't expect the dragon attack. Whatever he was doing.
You had to include this snapshot.
Oh yeah, there we go. That answers my question. I think that answers my question. We know what he was doing, and like I said, it was a blonde.
But now this guy, he's the character that refused to pay the dragon slayer before.
Yeah, so he's getting his revenge on this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Visiting him at odd hours.
Now this would be our Now, I know this from The Hobbit. This would be a special kind of arrow here. What did they call it in The Hobbit?
Oh, you mean the
The
arrow,
one that Bard
the spear?
used.
Oh yes, I forgot the name of the spear that killed Smaug.
Wasn't the
Ay.
Spear of Destiny?
No. What was it?
That's the one that pierced.
Now, you know that it probably had 5 different names because it was Tolkien.
Tolkien people. What was the name of the
Yeah.
spear that killed Smaug? You guys know? The Black Arrow. Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
the Black.
Yes.
Not to be confused with Blackadder.
Alex got it.
All black.
All right.
All black out. Black out. The 1980s, 1990s called medieval film.
Oh, but yeah, they're always building. There was a lot of building projects in the medieval period.
Yeah.
You would think it was a thriving economy.
Well,
there's dragons. Yeah, it's like if it was Minecraft, you'd be worried about creepers blowing up your stuff. But here it's dragons. And I guess he has a certain way of launching this thing. Every time he does, he just like comes down hard on it, I think with the hilt of his sword, and then it launches.
was this a real weapon of medieval times?
Well, we have our medieval scholar right here on the earworms.
I don't think so. It looks like it's based on a sort of on a Roman ballista.
Okay.
It's a siege engine, but I don't think that would, because that looks. There's no real purpose for something like that in warfare, other than what it's designed for here. Because that spear is ridiculously big to be used in combat against people.
Right.
But
they wouldn't
yes,
have tried to bring down horses or.
Probably not. No, because it's what you've got archers for.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you might have done, but you generally wouldn't, because even then, one of those can bring down one horse. In the space that is, you could have 3 or 4 archers standing. And they can
That's
four
true.
horses.
That's true.
It's
Wouldn't have been
called the
practical.
ballista.
Oh yeah, I think a ballista is
Ballista.
Yeah,
so it was a Roman
yeah,
weapon.
yeah,
Okay.
the Romans had them because they used. I think they were probably the ones that started siege engines. They did actually exist. But I would, but to go back to your thing about him doing the wide swing and all the rest of it, I would suspect that I can't remember. There's a big posh word. There's a big posh word which means that something happens within the story. But I would suspect, as a reenactor who knows how you do some of things, that part of the reason for that is he's literally telegraphing it. So, because as we know, at the risk of spoiling these things,
well, this is the closest. The closest thing here is the ballista. Here's the Wikipedia thing on it, and
yeah, I mean it's definitely based on a ballista. Yeah.
Wow.
But you'll notice what that's actually got, right? It does. That's not going to fire. That is not going to fire an arrow. What that's going to fire is it's going to fire a stone. Because if you look really, really closely,
right, yeah,
right in the middle of the string there's a pouch.
Yeah.
That you would put a stone in. You put it back. It's literally a stone fire.
And this is much
but what I would
bigger
think,
than what we're seeing in this film.
Oh yes, again yes, because
it looks like a giant crossbow, except it
is
shoot arrows.
It is based. I mean, it's basically. I mean, the crossbow. All bows use the same basic idea. You bend a bit of wood and you let it straighten out. It's all the same basic basic design, just different applications. But I would suspect that part of the reason that he's doing that is he's literally, as our fighters do, he's literally telegraphing his move so that Draco can actually anticipate exactly when that arrow is going to shoot at him. So he can do what we see he does in the next scene.
Right. Yeah, that's true. And basically,
God, did I use the F word?
fraud?
No, fire. Alex has said you mean shoot. Did I use the F word in there when I'm talking about both?
So anyway,
but yeah, I love that. I that's fantastic. Literally cuts it. Oh,
Yeah, that's so.
and
That's
it
funniest
sets up a later
scene.
joke as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
and splash. That's the important thing. Make sure you have a body of water nearby that you could actually go down in. Oh, wow. There we go. So, and then you see the construction crew cheering here. Yay!
I'll tell you what, though. What Lucius Malfoy is wearing there is actually very good gear.
Oh, really?
I mean, yeah. Well, if you look at, like for example, I like the. I mean, he's got a sort of roughly knee-length tunic, woolen tunic, long sleeves, possibly a little bit too big with the sleeves, but I don't know. But it's a design choice, and I like the belt because he's got the belt on there properly with the pouch. I think that may be supposed to be a dagger at the back of it. I'm not sure. But he's got rings. He's wearing rings, which is a sign of status. You would have so yeah. I mean, he does actually look. He does actually look quite good. I mean, it's a nice sort of pose anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying is the costuming in this film is somewhat accurate?
Some of it is, yes. I mean, as I said, I'm not entirely certain about the sleeves because it looks like he may have got supposed to have something over the sleeves. And the other thing is that, well, it depends on the period, but certainly for most of the medieval period, every single one of these people is practically well, she's practically naked, but I've got no problem. But every single one of these people, with possibly exception of a couple of them, with a few of the ones on the screen, he's actually improperly dressed because they've all got bare heads.
Well,
they would. Everybody would be wearing a hat.
Yep, you should certainly during the later periods.
How very 50s.
Yeah. Well, no, it is literally. I mean, but you look all the way through to any iconography, to use Metatron's phrase, any imagery you see from almost all of that period, everybody is wearing some sort of headgear. It doesn't have to be status, but for both male and female, women usually have their hair covered.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. If especially a noble woman would.
Yeah, but it gets to the point where with the ubiquitous hood, I don't remember any similar in here, but if you think the standard medieval hood with a hood with wide, down halfway down the upper arms, with a long lyric pipe, the tail at the back, typical medieval hood. That was everybody wore those for about 500 years. But if you imagine the one thing with the hood is that because it tends to come a little bit forward of your face, so it tends to.
Yeah, they want to see the actors here. So.
Yeah, well, no, not so much that, but it's even better. It goes to the Catholic, the Catholic because the church he was at the time, because that was the only Christian church in the West. Had one of these things where they're able to really double think. Because in church and out, I mean, as Liza, you probably know, coming from a Catholic background, I'm not presuming your religion, but coming from a background, you would probably know that ladies in particular, even to these days, are expected to wear sort of semi-medieval or mantilla or something in church or a shawl in church.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of.
I don't. It's not so prevalent here in this country. I mean, as a kid, I attended church all the time, and we were never asked to wear a veil, and
maybe it's gone out of.
yeah, I think
maybe
it's.
gone
I
out of
mean,
fashion.
yeah,
I know
but
it
it's
was.
also
can't speak to
that's in the
other
U.S.
countries, but yeah.
But yeah, I've seen pictures of people from their first communions and things like that, and the girls had hats.
Yeah,
of some kind.
What I'm saying is the thing is even that everybody did male and female. Not a problem. Not a problem if you're a lady and you're wearing a veil, you're facing. But the priest wants to know that you're not falling asleep during his long, boring lectures and speeches. So, and the problem is if you're wearing a hood, the priest can't see your face. So the church very cleverly comes up with this double thing. If you are wearing a hood, specifically a hood, right? If you have the hood back, so it's off your head, right? So the priest can see your face, so you are bareheaded. Legally speaking, you are still wearing a hat. You are still as far as the church is concerned, your head is still covered, even though it's not. It's a weird little bit of logic that comes out of the church because of costume design. As I said, I mean, the hood was ubiquitous for 500 years or more.
Was it a respect thing, or because it was cold?
Well, head coverings were a part of, since the early days in like early Judaism, even to today, like conservative Jews will still have head coverings. And of course, we know in the Islamic world, there's a bunch of coverings and stuff.
Yeah,
there was something like the Mennonite and so forth, and the Amish, even the ladies have some sort of head covering. It seems like
there's a long standing thing that a woman's hair is glory. The woman's hair is part of. Yeah, thank you, Gavin. Is part of her attractiveness, of her desirability, and therefore a woman's hair should be covered in public. That's a long-standing thing for a number of cultures. That because I mean, part of that is I've always thought that there's some biological reasons for that. Hair, both in a male and a female, but more important from male to female than female to male attraction. The woman's hair is clean and shiny. It's a sign that she's healthy. It's a sign of health. We know this. Think about animals, the same thing. So, but for a long time in many cultures, a woman's hair has been considered a part of her attractiveness, part of her desirability, and therefore it is seemly, if you want to use the word, without being prude about it, for her head to be covered. The same goes for men, not necessarily for the same reasons. But I don't know why it starts, but certainly for 500-600 years or more, everybody would have had their head covered. Certainly, if they're out in public. It just, I mean, even if it's literally a thin skull cap, or almost a skull cap, or a thin linen coif. Doesn't have to be this, but everyone would have had their head covered.
Interesting.
Well, except for dragons.
Dragons don't care. Dragons have hair.
Well, Baron AWK did point out a little while back that this castle, this is pre-inhabitation by the French. You will be punished for this! Oh.
Wrong clip.
I don't know.
Wrong clip.
No, actually,
was Stavros French?
Actually, no. I like that. I've just been talking about them being improperly dressed. And then you will be punished. I like that actually worked. If you bring Alex comment next.
What makes you think she's a witch? Well, she turned me into a newt.
Wrong
Play
clip
the right
again.
clip.
There we go. Now,
That's going to be happening in that next
makes
match.
sense.
The French will be taunting the English.
Yes.
I think you should do the Venetian thing and fill 11 archers.
Well, and then we see lots of, the dragons eyeing the flock here.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, we know from his voice he's Scottish. Anyway.
Yeah, so you're only going to eat him. He's not Welsh. No, I didn't say that.
What?
I didn't say anything about the Welsh and sheep.
Oh, yeah, well, I did. I guess I mentioned the Scottish and sheep, but I don't know.
Yes.
Sean Connery did do the voice of the dragon, so. Oh, what's going on here? Okay. No connection then. Yeah, what's happening here? I think, well, we see what the racket is, we see what they're going to do, and then as they're going off then afterwards, after the show's over, they're talking a little bit about the code and the old code and the ways of the night. And, this is a little bit different. Like, according to that code, you shouldn't really be dishonest in your dealings with others and so forth. So the dragon's kind of pointing that out, but it was his idea to begin with.
Well, he only pointed it out because Bowen mentioned being, I'm a knight of the old code. My word is my bond. And so he was half being facetious, and Draco was like, really? You're a knight of the old code? This behavior is hardly befitting a knight of the old code.
Yeah.
And and this is how the discovery conversation begins. He discovers that Draco is the dragon that he hated, and I don't know if Draco already knew that Bowen was the guy who.
Well, I think Draco finds it out first, and this will be unfolding here as we go through today's slides. But one thing that's important here is Bowen did point out these guys. We're putting on this show, but the people we're really cheating are the king's people, or the king himself. But Draco does point out that, when you go after the rulers economically, it's the people that suffer.
It depends, I suppose, also if Draco was there when Bowen made the vow.
Yeah, we heard his voice.
Yeah, so Draco will know that, but will recognize Bowen.
He may not at this point. It's been like 12 years, maybe. I don't think he forgot him, but he's probably not sure.
Yeah, possibly.
But it does come up. It does come up later, quite shortly, where I think Draco gets the clue.
Yeah.
Look at those eyes, man. That's good stuff.
I like the dragon design in this movie.
Yeah. And I like the scales there.
Yeah.
I would like to see the people that made this make a Pern movie.
A what?
Make a what?
Movie?
Oh. Pern. Anne McCaffrey's
a Hearn movie.
No, Pern. P-E-R-N. Anne McCaffrey's Dragon Riders of Pern series.
Oh.
Where the dragons are all good guys.
Oh. I haven't heard of the Dragon Riders series.
You haven't? Oh. It's...
I haven't.
She passed away a few years ago now. But it's... Anne McCaffrey was a prolific science fiction writer. The Dragon Riders are her biggest series. Other people written in there. About the first half dozen or so Dragon books are all fantasy set on with a science fiction setting, because the introduction to the Dragon Riders books starts when man first discovered the planet star Rookba in the Sagittarian sector. So it starts off, it's a science fiction setting, but it's all about dragons, and it's very medieval. but it's a really good series. Well, the ones that she wrote, her son took over late towards the end of her life, and after she passed, and his books aren't as good. They don't have the magic that she had.
There's
But
plenty.
Interesting. Sounds interesting.
It is, and unfortunately, the first half dozen books. Okay, cheers, Alex.
Yeah, that's the next book I'm doing is the Gazuliman book.
Yeah,
the first
half dozen. There were the Dragon Riders. There's a couple of trilogies, and then there's a fourth one. It's one of the trilogy, and then there's other books, and then she goes back, and she actually does a couple of books at the start to see how Pern came about. But the first ones in particular are exactly, fantastic idea.
The White Dragon.
Yes, the White Dragon is the fourth one in the first trilogy, if you like. The first 6 books, Dragonflight, fortunately they were relatively small books. Certainly the Harper's trilogy are all quite short books, so they're easily quickish to read, or I would imagine if you get audio versions, they're going to be relatively
there's plenty of audiobooks here. Looks like most of them are complete, so that's something for the future. I've been looking.
I mean, they as with the Harry Potter books, they get bigger towards the end, towards the later books get. Well, that might also be because most of the ones I've got, the later books are all hardbacks, and hardbacks are always large books and paperback.
Freedom's Choice, the Freedom series.
Yeah, she's also the lady who invented the brain chips. I think one of her was a ship who sang and others, where basically, and they are actually set in the same universe as Pern. Basically, the brain chips, basically, very, 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 very severely disabled children, when they are births, their births are stunted so they never grow physically, and they're planted into machinery. Otherwise, they would die. It's not as bad as it seems. The way life ships, life ships. But don't forget, Flav, there's also the cities as well, the city who fought, etc. They put them in, but basically, so the main one is about Helva, who is a ship, and she's in a ship, and she's and again, it's another really good. It's a series that is not as bad as it would sound, perhaps, to a modern theory when you just do the very barest idea. But again, as I said, she had quite a prolific output, and I've got most of her books somewhere.
Yeah,
probably got all of them as hard, as ebooks.
Yeah, that'll be something I'll be checking out in the future. I've been wanting some good fantasy for a while. Why?
Yeah.
Aside from your misery. Yeah, he's got some good points here, the dragon does. It's like, oh no, well, he had his points, like we see that Bowen's kind of given up on hope and everything. And then the dragon has his own things where, he's just like, man, what, Bowen's like, what's the matter with you? And it's basically, it's something that unfolds little by little about, the dragons and what their afterlife and the significance would be like. But basically, I think we had the line up here is the main reason why the dragon doesn't want to die at this point. Is not just the regular fear of death we all have, but also he's concerned for his soul.
Yeah.
And that becomes a question to get answered later.
I actually had to go and look something up.
Oh, yeah?
About the night sky. when I was watching this, because I
Oh.
wasn't certain that it was actually visible from the southern hemisphere, and it is all year round.
Okay, yeah, the Draco
Yeah,
constellation.
Draco
It
is.
does come up.
It is. I wasn't sure because I thought it was one of those ones that was southern, but no, it's not. He's actually a northern hemisphere constellation. So
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I guess the most prominent constellation that we could see here year round, especially out in the country, out here is Orion.
Yeah. Orion's everyone's favorite.
Well, but
Well,
it's
that's where the
it's prominent
Egyptians
in
came
our
from, you know?
sky. Yeah, it's prominent in our sky, in our location at least.
So, I'm listening with you. Sorry, Flav, are you talking about the Robin Hood series? Robin Hood series there about dragons being into ships. Wow, I've not read. I've seen them, not read them.
Well, we have here A Castle at Night.
Don't leave me hanging out to my Chris. Oh, thank you, Flav. Wow, I might have to give those a look. Cheers, man. Yeah.
Another series to check out.
They're quite thick books, if I remember right, the Live Ship series.
Live Ship.
Yeah, by Robin Hood.
Like the Vorlon ships.
Possibly. I don't know.
It sounds like a Vorlon ship. Ex Flavius says they are cocoons of the dragons made into ships. They contain the consciousness of the dragon before it hatched.
Wow, that sounds cool.
It's very Vorlon. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, they're having a good old medieval celebration here in their courtyard. And I don't know, sun's being all sinister and stuff too, and I don't know exactly what's going on, but they're all eating, even the dog's eating. And I guess that was saying that these guys are kind of like dogs. But Mom is there, and she's not the proudest mother.
No.
And let's see, he's pouring himself a drink, and then he catches a reflection in the drink, and it's this lady. Well, that was a good catch.
Be right back, folks.
Okay. And she tries to assassinate the king. Are you allowed to say that on YouTube? I know there's some words that are banned. She tries to take out the king. But he catches her because he saw her in the reflection, and he's able to subdue her. But the mother's listening, and she hears I think is it Kira or Kara? I know it's a K. Kara. Okay.
Kara, as in Supergirl.
Kara. All right. So she's shouting out basically, "You killed my father! You killed my father!" And that kind of gets through into the mother.
Prepare to die.
Everything comes back to Princess Bride.
The thing is, it's some of these things because that's so iconic. It is so.
Mm-hmm.
You almost want people. You almost want someone to actually overwrite that. But you kill my father, prepare to die.
That would take everyone out of that story pretty quick. Yeah. All right.
That's kind of when she realizes exactly what her son's become, I think.
Yeah. And we see the symbology of that there at the end. And I mean, just so many beautiful pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I guess Slovakia, the Eastern European countries can look really beautiful. What was that one grand tour? It was one of the specials that came out in recent years.
I don't know when.
I forget what country they were. I think it might have been Croatia, but it was Eastern Europe, and a lot of scenes like this. And what do we have here? We have ourselves a castle. This one's in better progress. Rome wasn't built in a day, so you can't rebuild it in a day either. And so he's thinking about it as he's looking at the construction, and that reminds him of her father and her, who she is. And she's the one that kind of knocked him into a spike, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
And so he's remembering that, and he decides to pay her a visit. And there we see good staging. Looks cool, but you just get that creepy vibe from him that, I don't know. He's
David Thewlis does creep so well.
Yeah. Because
But I mean,
you're not sure. You go ahead.
And I say, unfortunately, you didn't tell. There's one side where she charges at him, and he's standing at it. He knows he's standing exactly the right point, that she comes straight to the end of her chains and stops about 2 inches from him.
Mm.
You know, he's positioned himself exactly well.
Right. And and you're wondering, what is it that he wants? Is it revenge, or is he attracted to her? What's going on? Well, it's a little bit of everything, I guess.
Yeah, so the two aren't necessarily exclusive.
Yeah. And we do get a cutaway here where we'll come back. That these two scenes are kind of juxtaposed. Well, Bowen's trying to start a fire with some flint and steel there. And
I'm not sure doing it on your sword is the best thing to do.
Yeah, it would
kind of going to damage your sword.
Well, maybe it's the only steel he has with him right now.
Yeah, possibly.
Although typically, like flint and steel, it's just a little bit of steel, even some scrap steel is all you need.
Usually there's a little bit of steel, and a lot of steel is smaller than a flint. It's almost literally a flake of steel. But you do the steel on the flint, rather than the other way around.
Well, the dragon's saying, I could, And it's like, well, Bowen doesn't even give him permission or ask him to do it. And so the dragon decides. And yeah, he overdoes it. I think you had to know this is overdoing it. All you need to do is start a fire, not cook everything. And he's like, well,
I honestly don't remember if he was breathing the fire out of his mouth before, or if he was breathing it out of his nostrils when he attacked as well. I honestly don't remember.
I never looked closely enough to see if it was the nostrils or the mouth, but
yeah.
No, but either way, it was overdoing it.
Because in fact, talking about the Pern novels again, they have an explanation for why they breathe fire. They have to chew a particular mineral, which then lets them breathe fire. So there's a scientific reason for why they breathe fire, and that means it comes out of the mouth. But that's completely. But
that's cool. Yeah, it's always good to have some reason for it. We just take it for given that dragons breathe fire.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it depends if your dragon is a magic. Is your dragon a magical dragon? No, I won't sing the song. I won't sing that song. Or is it an actual, reasonably well thought out, or at least an attempted explanation for a biological dragon, if you like?
Yeah. Large reptile. And well, fortunately we do have, I can only imagine the first person who dug up like a pterodactyl.
Yes.
Before they were able to date, what layer. Well, I guess they knew at the time from the layers that's like, wait a minute, this is too long ago to be a dragon.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that there are in, I think there's still about somewhere in one of the parks in London, there were, I don't know if there still are, actual statues, models of dragons, of dinosaurs from the very early days of the discovery, and they're all on all fours because they didn't worked out at the time that a lot of the dragons were actually bipedal. They hadn't worked that out, so they all look really weird compared to what we now know. What I can't do, should I say? Yeah, partly, I suppose, because perhaps they hadn't found very many skeleton, very incomplete skeletons at the time.
Yeah, it took a while to get them to be complete and to work out these are actually the right bones and not just a hybrid of bones from different dinosaurs. It must have been a process, but a fun one. A fun one, and that must be one area where they were like, you know how science is mostly driven by funding, and and in that case, it's like it might have been a hard case to try and say, look, we need more money to go digging up more dinosaur bones.
But a lot of them, I think, were actually amateurs who were sort of self-funded almost.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
In the early days as well.
That's cool beans. Let me see. Do we still? Yeah, I still have control here. So are they on their chat? This is where they're about to encounter the topic of Einon. And basically, I think this is where Dragon knows who this guy is.
Yeah.
Because this is where Bowen
figures out.
Yep. I don't know. I had the lines there, but as usual, my controls cover them. But yeah, in the film, it must have been, I mean, it's something because you basically have the dragon there on screen and clear at like a lot of scenes. And you had to make that work. And it's probably not easy to make a conversational dragon. But in any case, here, of course, is where, you see from the dragon's perspective, it's like this kid was corrupt to begin with. And, but I guess to him, now, Liza, you'll have to help me out here because I think you know it better than I. But for him, what is the relationship? I think he wanted to help. He was reticent to help the child because he thought he would probably be corrupt, but he did also because he's concerned for his soul. There's something important about, what dragons must do in order to earn a place in the constellation, right?
Yep, that's right. He sensed that Einon was evil, but he thought, and this is where he feels like where his failure is that he thought that his heart could change the kid.
Mm-hmm.
So he gave up his heart, and he's like, okay, I'll give up my heart. I'll change this kid because my heart is just so great and so powerful. And then I'll earn a place in the heavens because I would have brought men and dragon back together.
Right.
And stop all of this dragon killing. But that's, obviously.
But then Bowen, the difference was he wasn't like being a heart donor or anything, but he thought that he could also change Einon too. And he was a little blind to what the reality of Einon was.
He didn't realize, he didn't want to see who Einon was. Mm-hmm. He ignored all the little clues that indicated that the kid was just rotten and there's nothing that you could do to change him. So he pressed on teaching him without any reservation, and of course the kid contributed to the guy's self-deception because he would just, as he said earlier, vomit out the words that about the old code.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that he would get what he needed out of this night. And so Bowen thought that it was the heart who ultimately changed the kid's character when the kid's character was already rotten.
Well, you got to keep sharp objects away from this Kara.
You might say that Bowen might come to the conclusion that he played me. He played me like a puppet.
Yes, like we need that Lando clip. We do.
Well, we haven't gotten there yet. That's season 4.
But we could have season 4 clips in earlier seasons.
Oh boy, I gotta dig them all up.
I mean,
Well-
you have the leeches clip ready to go.
Yeah,
and we
I
have
know
it.
because we're doing Arthurian stuff, and I knew that would be
Take your
important.
leeches elsewhere. But
Mhm.
and you have the agreeable thump as well.
Well, there's an agreeable thump
Do
and
it-
a satisfying thump. Two different
Do it-
thumps.
The really ironic thing about that scene, of course, is that these days they actually do use leeches in medicine.
Yes, they've learned some things about leeches. It wasn't all hogwash. Very
I'm in no
interesting.
need of a doctor, so take your leeches elsewhere.
Sorry, it takes me a while to find them.
Yes. Oh, I love that episode of Babylon 5.
Yes, a certainly more magical moment than this one. I did add a clip from Dragonheart to my arsenal here.
Shut up!
Okay.
That's
makes
how
sense.
that's how medieval knights sound.
They might have. They might have. You don't know. I
Well,
wouldn't.
anyway, yeah, keep the sharp objects away from Kara. She's still not happy with this guy.
I must admit, at the risk of being extremely pedantic, I'm intrigued on how he got her down to her underwear. Because that's not the dress she was wearing in the dungeon. In
Really?
fact, yes, she was wearing a dress.
Hmm.
She was a green dress.
Oh,
Well,
they had what do you call a Cybok moment here.
Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, I have to say that the all the way through the lace up stuff is unfortunately actually not accurate, not up
Aw.
front.
One would have
Yes, I
hoped.
agree entirely. It might, if you know, women's dresses laced up the back. They were fitted on the front, and most of them they actually laced up the back, rather than up the front. Meaning, of course, that certainly nobly had to have someone help them dress and undress.
Yep.
Well, at least with the historians who put together the documentary about the Get Along Castle, and they were walking around in medieval garb and supposedly accurate late medieval garb. The ladies were actually wearing just a tube as a dress. They would get into it like a t-shirt, and then they would form the dress with belts and
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
So it was really, really simple.
Yeah, it's
No
not.
lace-up stuff at all. Yeah.
No, I mean, if laces can come in there because, but if you imagine, if you think about it, your the clothing you're made is, yes, you had seamstresses, but a seamstress, a company seamstress probably could make stitches that would look as close, that would look as good and as close as something made with a modern sewing machine.
Oh,
that's
yes.
one seamstress,
Mm-hmm.
not enough to make all the clothes available. You know,
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I think most
all your clothes
women
are
made
made by
their own
hand.
clothing. I
Yeah,
think.
and if
Yeah.
all your stuff's made by hand, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a tailor, but I know it's difficult from what I've seen of clothes. It's probably not the easiest thing in the world to do, especially if you've got all natural fabrics and you don't have modern techniques
Right.
and you don't have modern machinery
Right.
to actually make the dresses or make clothes fit that well, especially to the more curvaceous parts of the anatomy, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's probably not that easy to make them curve around.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you think about
you've
who
got to have
had.
the seams
Yeah.
cut properly and so on and so forth. So as you
Who-
said, like, you pull something over your head and you put it in with a belt, and the belt does the bit for you. It does
Yep.
80% of the work for you.
Yeah, does all the shaping for you, and I mean, who had access to a seamstress back then, or who had the training? Maybe, I mean,
Well, and the ladies in royal societies would be most of the seamstresses.
right?
One
And
would think.
or there would be like employee families who traditionally made clothing. I don't know, but
I think they were homesteaders. They were making their own clothes.
Yeah,
Well-
a lot of them. I mean, the weird thing is, there's a clip going around at the moment of Anne Hathaway, when
Yeah,
she's being interviewed, I think, and she says, you know, she's not sitting around there because she likes weaving. Well, actually, yes, she did. But most women would have done, even nobles and all the way up to the royal family would have done
Yeah.
at least some of that.
yeah, you're right. They did mention that in the Get Along documentary that most women did make, and of course, you know, not not everybody is super skilled, so they had to keep things simple. And
Oh, yes.
yeah, the shaping would be done with the belt and I mean there's a lot of things you could do by just tying fabric in a certain way, and there are a lot
Indeed.
of modern dresses that are have rekindled that. I wouldn't say a tradition, but that technique. But yeah, there's a lot you could do.
And that's why you've actually got a lot of medieval fashion is what we might nowadays classify as bling. And whereas we think of bling is just jewelry, it's a lot more than that. It is. Have you guys seen the original Blackadder series?
I've seen some episodes, but not the whole thing.
I know, because there's one in there where they feature some really, really silly shoes.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I got to
thing
download that. That's probably something we're going to do one of these days on one of these.
That's real. There are
sites.
people who've got shoes that are so long, and they taper off, and they've got that they literally are tied back up to their knees. You've got and that's bling. For the same reason you see especially see the royal ladies or noble ladies would have a dress, but they may have a dress. The sleeve will come down to their wrists, long sleeves, usually, but then they will also have a second that will come out of another sleeve almost, which is really long, loose, really wide, and hangs down a lot. That all that will actually be attached. That is extraneous material. That's bling. It says, "Look, I'm so rich, I can afford to have all this." I wish you wouldn't leave that one on screen. You chose exactly the wrong one to leave on screen because that's really distracting.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
Well, I have Gavin and Flav to think of here. So anyway, yeah, he's still working on her, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Some of these I didn't include the subtitles, but I thought the faces were in. I mean, yeah, I mean, he has a way of making you feel really uncomfortable.
The interesting yeah, definitely, he's definitely been extremely creepy. But you've also almost kind of got the fact that almost that he doesn't know how to deal with someone saying no.
He wouldn't.
Yeah.
He's the king. No one says no to him. Yeah.
He's grown up as the prince and the king, and women aren't going to say no to the king.
Right.
So he hates. He doesn't. I mean, this girl attacked him and attempted to kill him, mutilate him, but at the same time, as he said, it's thanks to her that he's the way he is. He's got the power, etc. So he kind of fancies her, to use a modern term, but he's not used to actually having to court a woman. I don't know how much of that's meant to be in there, but there certainly seems to be a little bit of that in there.
Well, we do segue from their encounter over here to the dragon, where he's like, "I'm sorry about that. Don't know what happened to my heart."
Yeah.
Well, here's where they reveal that his heart still has a connection to Einon, because when Einon gets stabbed, he doesn't die. Or when Einon gets injured, the dragon gets injured.
Yeah.
And so they show the connection, which is going to be important later.
Yeah. And so that's something where now, does Bowen know yet that this is the same
No.
dragon? He
doesn't.
No, not yet. Yeah. It didn't look like it. And then
Lawrence,
what's going on here?
I may have to pop off because I didn't.
You didn't do the run to the dollar store.
I didn't do the run, and I have to pick up kitty food, and they're gonna be upset. If I don't have the right food for dinner. Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, you need to go now if you're going to be able to get back in time.
Yeah.
Or get there in time before they close.
Get there in time
all right.
before they close.
Okay, lady. Well, thank you for all your kind work. I will try to flash up some chats as we go. So I have the chat window open here. People want to share things, I mean, this may have been said, but here we go. Look at that. All right. So Gavin Unit's with us still. All right. We're going to move along here. Now, the mother, we see her creep into the chambers here through a secret passage, and she just doesn't say anything. She just leads.
Oh, she did say something
Kara.
because she made some indication of that she didn't want the Kara to suffer the same fate that she had, so kind of suggesting that she didn't necessarily want to marry Bowen's father.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There was an implication for that, but it wasn't much more than that.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But you see, I mean, again, she's dressed again. There, she's wearing the dress again.
Oh, damn it. I guess they just decide, well, we want you in these scenes to not be wearing the dress, and then they wanted her in the dress again.
It makes sense under the conditions that she wouldn't be completely dressed if she's in a bed with a man. But and then for some reason she spends the rest of the movie wearing that weird ribbon around her neck, which I don't quite get. But
well, there's apparently in this chamber an escape route. Interesting. And but no, that's what I thought, that there wasn't much dialogue at any rate.
There's not much. No, there's not much.
Mother showed her the exit, and she's like, "Thank you," but Mama's gone already.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we move back over here to where our dragon is telling his story, and we see the constellation Draco right up there.
Yeah, you get some interesting backstory there about how long the dragons have been around as well. Like mankind and this sort of thing.
Kind of going reptilian there.
Yeah, well, which is an interesting-ish thing when you think it's set in a world where they believed in that the world was created in 7 days. That's kind of an interesting comment to bring up, but I mean, obviously, that's what the belief was, not what the reality is.
Yeah, but I guess also one could take it in another route. It's like, is this the connection to dinosaurs or?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, the interesting thing though is that, because I did notice that this you quite often get this discussion when dragons come up about dragons and wyverns and so on and so forth, and I can never remember. But if you notice, actually, Draco actually has 6 limbs. He's a hexbomb. He's got rear legs, 4 legs, and wings. And wings are bat-like wings, where they are basically an arm and hand. So basically, he's effectively got.
That's true.
He's effectively got 6 limbs. So, which of course, no large creature on Earth ever had. Only insects have 6 limbs.
That's
so
true. Yeah. Even for those reptiles, it's
because
like alligators.
Yeah, but any winged beastie that is not above the level of insect. So birds, bats.
Well, chickens,
chickens
are related to dinosaurs in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
in a distant
yes,
way.
exactly. They are. They're descendants, but all of them, there are no creatures on Earth above the insects which have 4 limbs and wings.
And wings. Yep. That's
Because
true.
in everything that's got wings, that's a mammal.
That's basically
or
their
a
arms.
reptile, it's exactly.
Well, we do have here another racket going on. Basically, it's time to fleece another village, I guess.
Yeah.
And one was enough. Well, no. Before that, this is where she's going out there and she's saying to them, come on, y'all, you got to get a backbone. We got to resist this king. And so she's fomenting. I mean, and yeah, she's being brave. She only just escaped the dungeon and she's out there saying, all right, we got to resist. Her father resisted and, of course, spent most of his life paying for it. And so this guy's not interested in getting involved. And I think he's the one that made her all muddy.
Well, yeah, so I'm not sure what's here with it, but I think he's the other one he's another one that was there with her father, isn't he? I think.
And then he pulls, what is that? A green.
I think it's meant to be melon.
Yeah, a melon.
Yeah.
Certainly not coconuts. They wouldn't get coconuts there.
No.
But anyway, Bowen grabs the melon and he's inclined to agree with the man. It's like, yeah, why bother? But that's some good riding with a melon. I prefer her with a clean face, but
yeah, I'll second that.
But man, yeah, cut a melon and then eat some of it while you're riding. Oh, no. That's right. He didn't eat melons. She smashed his face with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she's pissed off with him and it's time to do the racket now. So yes, here comes Dragon Man. Is this Terry Jones or something?
There is definitely, if you've recently seen Holy Grail, it will definitely put you in Monty Python mode.
Yeah.
Not intended to do so, but it certainly will put you in that mode, I think.
Yeah. We need a screaming lady in the village. And then, of course, Bowen knows what's going on. He's part of it. And then all these shots, man, I'm wondering if they constructed it just for the movie.
Yeah, that's it.
Probably. And some good shots here of the dragon going by. So yeah, they're pretending like the dragon's invading the village, gonna destroy it, and he's got to destroy the dragon, and you better pay me for that. And so he's trying to convince them now, you need a dragon slayer. And he's like, well, the only other alternative is maybe to feed one of your maidens to him. I wonder where that started.
Yeah. At this point, he's looking rather, I must admit, unfortunately, he now looks rather more white, Anglo-Saxon or Viking than medieval. So actually, probably if this is the 900, that's probably reasonably appropriate clothing, actually.
Yeah, it looks fine to me. I'd even wear that these days.
That's coming out of the nose. That answers the question we had earlier on. It's definitely coming out of his nose. I like that. Hiding in a basket.
Yeah. Well, they did that in the Holy Grail, too.
Mm-hmm.
People crawling into baskets. So now, what is this? Yeah, she sees what they're doing. She knows that this is a racket. And she's trying to warn the village about it.
But does she know yet? She's not discovered it, has she?
Well, she's going to discover for certain,
Yeah, she's going to
but
discuss it. Yeah,
she smells something's up, though.
Yeah.
I think maybe not entirely, but yeah, I think she smells something's wrong. She doesn't trust Bowen, definitely.
Yeah.
But then I guess she would have reason not to. He used to work for the king and stuff. But anyway, this guy's like, no, not my daughters.
Yeah.
So I don't know when that tradition started.
No, I don't either.
Tying up maidens. It seems really kind of like Aztec to me, sacrifice.
I mean, the interesting thing is it occurs to me that actually there's something about that, because it's really weird. You've got this attitude towards innocence in an unmarried woman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you think what technically it's not always remembered is that the unicorn is not a pet. A unicorn is a wild animal, but it can only be tamed by a virgin. So again, there's something about that. That runs through some of these things that there's, because I mean, you have to remember a lot of these fairy tales and that sort of thing. They've actually got the morality tales actually quite well spun out sometimes. Not a lot more subtle than modern day entertainment. But a lot of them are actually, at least in part, morality tales of, trying to teach you the right way to behave. Try to teach you morals.
That's what Amadeus was.
Yeah, but I mean that's
yeah, 18th century morality tale that wasn't very accurate about Mozart's life.
Yeah, but exactly. I mean, the thing is that a lot of these things are like who read Reinecke, don't trust strangers.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of them have got that a message to them, which is quite subtly done. So
so that might be it. That it was like morality tale. It's like, I mean, or else he'll get fed to the dragons. I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, what I mean, the unicorn.
But it's the innocent and pure ones that actually get fed to the dragons.
The unicorn one will be okay. Yeah, fine. So don't put out for wild beast. So wait till you can tame a man. Perhaps you can tame the wild beast before you put out, something along those sorts of lines.
Or the fawn, which is another word for what is it? Satyrs or satyrs,
yeah. But there's a lot of those sort of things in there. But how that would actually work? How that would actually work with you said the other way first. If you're a good girl, you will be fed to the dragon. That's that's a interesting bit of morality tale. What that would that's more case of okay, but the dragon feasts on innocence.
But it's innocence that brought the beast to bay.
Yeah.
Nothing is more magical. As long as they roam the earth, evil can never harm the pure of heart.
Had to play that. Alrighty.
Yep.
Well, here's our three ladies here that the guy wants to. So they decide we'll take this one, this loud redhead, feed her to the dragon.
Well, but I mean, Bowen wants to get rid of her because she's suspicious of him, isn't she?
Yeah. But the villagers had to make the decision because they
Yeah,
needed to go.
but he sort of pointed him in that direction, I think. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, they're the ones that needed to go.
What makes you think she's a witch? Well, she turned me into a newt. A newt. I got better.
So we'll see if that works out now. I got copyrighted for just playing that clip a few episodes back, so I pitched it up.
Yeah, hopefully it didn't.
No, I mean, it'll just make me cut it out afterwards if it gets flagged again. It's nothing that's a big problem.
Yeah, the things you sometimes have to do to get these things in there.
Hey, that got Gavin. So anyway, let's move on. And yeah, man, just all the shots are good. Now, of course, Bowen, I mean, he's looking down and seeing a lady there. He's like, what's this? Who's that?
Yeah, he's this is where she realized that they're in cahoots of sorts.
And Bowen's like, oh, well, they're sacrificing her to you. And he's like, well, who gave them that idea? It seems like it wasn't really a dragon thing. He's just like, what?
That I merely chewed, but I never swallowed.
Yeah, he's like, well, you've eaten people before. What about Sir Whatever?
Yeah.
Whose parts he found in his mouth. It's like, oh, well, I chewed in self-defense. I chewed, but I didn't swallow. Oh, boy. Well, anyway, it's time to carry on with the show. So she's screaming quite naturally. She does some good screams here. And then Dragon just takes her and the pole she's on and heads out. And then that's the end of our first book of slides. The second set is a bit shorter, so we're almost there for tonight. Let's see. Oh, I need to upload the second set, so yeah. Remember, I didn't upload the slides before the show. There's a number of things I didn't do.
Well, I think he's actually, again, but that one that's quite interesting. The things they do is that I like the one actually that there's something very Bird of Prey-ish about the way the way he uses his legs to grab the car, and it's sort of a bit like a hawk or something jumping on a rabbit. Using its legs to bringing up something very Bird of Prey-ish about that.
Yeah.
Using his feet rather than his arms.
Yeah, and like you said, yeah, that's convenient to have the 6 limbs, so your wings could already be working on giving you lift off while you're grabbing.
Yeah.
All right, so now we switch on over here, and so we see we get the impression some time has passed, and Bowen's just wondering, where did everybody go? I was back there at the village waiting for this guy to come back, and he's busy chatting up this lady here.
Yeah.
Or that's the way it came across. But you would think, after a pleasant conversation, that she felt I don't know, relieved that this is a nice organism.
Yeah. Well, and again, you see, I like this bit where she's, again, I mean, you think, I mean, this movie these days, she is a genuine, strong female character.
Yeah. But not doing unrealistic things.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and she's coming there, apart one, I'm talking to the dragon, but she's come to defend the dragon. She thinks this guy's come to attack the dragon, and she's going to defend the dragon. Again, with that little knife of hers.
All right. And so she's like, pick on someone your own size. A bit of irony there. But anyway, the dragon takes to hide a little bit there because he sensed him coming. So King Einon is like, oh no, this is the last guy you want to see. How do you know which waterfall to go to? Or where to go? But anyway, he's there. And of course, this lady does not want to go back to the dungeon. And Bowen doesn't want her to go back either. And of course, now he's faced with this kid he tried to bring up right, but refused to behave. And so he's, you sense they're going to have a bit of a squabble here. And so there is a bit of swashbuckling and sword fighting.
This is where Bowen finally realizes the truth about Einon.
And in the sword fight here, I don't know that it's amazing or anything, but I really did feel like they handled it somewhat realistically, the weight of the weapons and everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes one-handed, but frequently two-handed, just because they're heavy.
Well, so it's not so much that the part of the difference I understand is that some swords are I mean, if you've got a long sword is and you've got an arming sword is the shorter version, which is basically one-handed sword.
There we go.
Yeah, a long sword is what perhaps Dungeons and Dragons would call a bastard sword, a hand and a half. You can use it one-handed, you can use it two-handed. The thing is that if you one-handed, it's quicker and more agile, and you can indeed, as you see, what's really good there. In fact, if you notice, that's an excellent grip, because if you notice where David Thewils is holding that, right, so that's roughly where the balance point of the sword is. But because the way he's holding it like that, the pommel is pushing up against his palm and therefore giving him more control. He's not gripping it tightly. He's holding it, and the pommel there is up against his hand, which is giving him control. The reason you sometimes see that with a one-handed sword, and that's again that sort of hand and a half, really, I think. Yeah. It may just be the angle and design of the weapons, but with a two-handed sword, it's slower, but you've got your full body weight behind your blows. And you could see in that earlier when you could see the effort that Bowen was putting into that, using both hands gives you more control. It gives you a bit more control in some ways, and it gives you more power, but it's slow. It's not quite as quick. It's not so easy, for example, to do a stab. It's a lot easier to do a stab if you've got to come back a bit.
Yep.
You can do one hand back.
You mean in the slides?
Forward. Yeah, basically. I mean, if you because you, I mean, that's the distance you want to be. Is you want to be close. You need to be close enough when you're fighting, so that your sword is going to actually land blows properly. Right? You don't want to be standing back like you are with, for example, fencing, where you've got to lunge forward to hit someone. There's different type of sword fighting. So the distance there, to me, looks quite good. But as I said, if you've got a hand and a half like that, and then, as you said, he's knocked him down, and there he's knocked him down. And he's got, that's quite a long, that's actually quite a long-ish sword, it looks to me.
Yeah.
For the shortness of the pommel.
But since the arm's above it, you can do that thing where the pommel is basically going up into the arm, so you're kind of like leveraging the weight. Yeah.
And I mean, all he's got to do there, if it's properly weighted sword, all he's got to do there really is if he literally he doesn't even necessarily need to twist his hand. If he literally just pushes his palm down, then the sword will turn up on where his hand is, where his fingers are. Well, that's his ball.
Yep.
So yeah. Again, I think these guys were taught.
He must have been training, because he actually in this duel does best Bowen.
Yeah.
And she looks concerned. What? what's going on? Even though she doesn't know him very well, she's just like, uh-oh. But they keep on going, and yeah. Unfortunately, and he really makes you hate him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He does this so well to his units.
Oh, man. Thewils. Well, the dragon was hiding away and decided it's time to show himself. And of course, what happens to him also happens to him. So he basically makes Einon's heart skip a beat there, so to speak.
Einon does a brave Sir Robin.
Brave Sir Robin. And he runs away. He's like, I could have handled that. Yeah.
Yeah. I had him just where I wanted him. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's true. Now we see that most of the time he is on all fours. Although sometimes he's on two. He's frequently on all fours. But yeah, the scales and everything there look great. It does look like an armored dragon, as one would expect.
Yeah.
And so I guess she's glad not to be going back and stuff, but,
yeah. But
she's
again,
like, why don't you just
again?
Yeah, and I guess her thing is, she's really can't stand Einon, of course. She wants to see him overthrown, and she's like, why aren't you doing anything about it? He's like, lady,
Yeah.
I gave up hope. I gave up hope. I tried. It didn't work out. But she's like, try harder.
Yeah.
All right. So we get the good conversation here where she's trying to motivate him, but it doesn't look like it's going to work out. And then the dragon's like, okay, well, we got to finish this gig. So he goes back to work, and we see all sorts of burning and stuff again. And of course, Bowen shows up. And the thing I didn't quite expect, you would think that, all right, at least this Kara, I guess she wants Bowen to get back into dealing with Einon and doesn't want him just going around, fleecing villages and stuff. So she's going to try to thwart his endeavors here.
Again, if you go back one again.
Yep.
Look, see, again, a lot of those have actually got headgear on it, headgear on, even they're just straight out caps, like the literally just bit of leather folded in.
Yeah.
But most of them are actually wearing some sort of headgear there.
Yeah, the caps with the ear flaps.
Yeah.
Now, one guy, what does he have around his neck?
It looks like bones or something in the neck.
Looking medicine man like.
Yeah, but I'm not quite sure what the hell he's got in his left arm.
Well, these guys, we find out in just a little bit, this is a weird village.
Oh, I think the rabbit's feet or something.
Oh, okay, I see. Rabbit's feet, yeah.
Or feet or something. Which is never particularly lucky for the poor rabbits.
No. But anyway, we're going to find out more about these villagers. They are a bit strange. Well, she's like, hey, don't trust him. This is a racket. He's going to trick you.
Idiot, I like that.
Yeah, she's the wandering idiot. She's like, no, he's in league with the dragon.
And look who turns up at long last.
Yes, Brother Gilbert. He's not dead yet. And it's when you take the screenshots and catch the slides that you really notice some of the things you don't notice when things are going full blast in the movie. And He just knows these little subtle things.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another thing. It's like they're acting this all out, and don't mind the livestock. We need to have the livestock just running around. Just some pigs and stuff, and it's going to become a barbecue soon. But anyway, Gilbert is here to vouch for, well, he didn't come here for that purpose, but happens to be wandering by and vouches for Bowen and says, he's good. He's all right. And she's like, no, 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 no. He's in league with the dragon. And Gilbert's like, what?
Wait, that's the word I was looking for that type of hat.
And Bowen, of course, does that look to say, come on, now that's silly. That's just silly. So, I don't know. The villagers, I don't know that they made much of a decision. Bowen's just going ahead with it anyway. And he launches the arrow and the same thing again. Convenient catch. And then splash down. But this time,
Yep.
it isn't quite deep enough.
Yeah.
In fact, that probably hurt more than the others.
Yeah.
It's like, and he's like, uh-oh, sink. And he's like, I can't. It's not deep enough. So, Gilbert doesn't quite notice it right away. He's just like, great job. You got him. Good. And then now here's the problem. It's like the dragon's just laying out there in the open. And these villages, is this where they do it? They just start saying meat.
Yeah.
Meat. Yeah. Meat. It's like, what is this, a zombie village?
Yeah, but they're not wrong. It's a massive great bit of meat. Dragon.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, it's something that you would be certainly wanting to get, that'll feed that village throughout the year.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to salt them, though, preserve them, or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they had salt. Oh, yeah, Romans had salt.
Yeah,
they would even pay. They would pay in salt, so yeah.
That's where
I just remember there was salt was like something that you had to trade for, because I guess, it's not like that there were salt mines everywhere.
No, but that's where the word salary comes from.
Yep. So there we go. Yeah, salt was valuable, but way back in the Roman, and of course here it's a preservative.
Yeah.
And so they're just interested in meat, but the way they do this is just like meat. And the dragon's like, okay, I got to get out of here. And he takes off. And it's like, okay, so you didn't kill the dragon. You just kind of knocked him down, I guess.
Yeah.
And then the villagers are like, well, if we can't get our meat there, looks like humans back on the menu, boys.
Yeah. Exactly. Back on the menu, boys.
And these guys are like, uh-oh, what's going on now? Yeah, that's what I thought was a little strange about this village. They must be hungry. Look at that. He's got a shell. I didn't notice that before. Here's a shell medallion sort of thing. Must have walked over to the beach at some point to get that. Well, anyway.
Again,
I'm sorry?
I said again, I mean, his costume is quite good again. Again, you see he's actually got a hood, but he's not wearing the hood. That's what I was saying. In church, that would count as having the hood up. It doesn't count out of church. It only counts in church, but we use that as an excuse.
Right.
But, and he looks as if, I think, just by his right hand, he's got a pouch, and he looks as if that may be oh, my brain's getting old. A rosary.
Yeah, they
hanging down.
frequently had rosaries on their belts.
Yeah, I've got one on my. I used to have one when I played a monk. When my character was a monk.
Mm-hmm.
Although,
Yeah.
actually, interestingly, going back to what we were saying earlier on, my monk's costume, I actually bought it from the people that had done my monk's habit, which I don't use these days, was actually used for publicity for the Da Vinci Code.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
yeah,
Publicity.
yeah.
Were you doing publicity?
No, I was.
Da Vinci Code?
No, the company that I bought it from, I think they were connected to my original reenactment group somewhere.
Oh, okay.
They had done they provided costumes for the publicity and they got them back. So that's
Okay. Now her hair is looking. No wonder they want to put headgear on. That'll drive someone crazy, man.
yeah.
And well, they already have some meat there. These guys, they do like their meat, and so, but they're coming after these people now. I don't know what they were thinking in the film, but I'll go with it. It's fun anyway, but it's just like, do villagers just do that? Like, we're just going to eat these humans. It was almost like, what did we come across? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm going
It
to
seemed more like Game of Thronesy than medieval.
Yes.
But anyway.
And it's an extremely, generally speaking, a light film.
Now, is Bowen wearing more than he's got the thing around his neck and upper shoulders now? Was he wearing that before?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it's
Okay.
supposed to be. It looks like it's sort of semi-studded, got rings of studs, so it doesn't look particularly
Studded cloth.
Yeah. I know he's just like, no dragon, no charge. Boom.
Yeah. Well, he decides to rescue Gilbert there, and he says, no charge, no dragon, no charge. Here, you get your money back. That doesn't matter. They want meat. And they got him surrounded. And once again, we need a little bit of help to save the day.
Deus Ex Dracona.
Yes, Deus Ex Draconis. And so the dragon lifts him up and heads off, and Gilbert's yelling, I'm going to die. And we are 2/3 of the way through the film, so the final third will be next week. And after that, I think we're going to take a journey to Sherwood and see who's hanging out in Sherwood forward.
To do the watch for that.
Yep. You've been able to find it though, right?
Oh, many years ago now, when I first started collecting DVDs, not Blu-rays, DVDs, the first two things I collected were Robin of Sherwood and the Tomorrow People.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I've got them on DVD. Never mind downloads and the rest of it.
Yes, Swapper said it's something he's going to revisit again. You remember watching it with his father, and
yeah, I need to ask Swapper something, because I finally managed to start listening to
Praxium?
Praxium the Pathfinders. Yeah, and there was one bit where they've got Finn in the back to tank, and I really need to ask Swappers if a certain TV show from my childhood inspired him in any way.
Okay. I mean, well, the back to tank is something.
No, not the back to tank.
We've seen that going back to Empire.
It's not the back to tank. It's the thing about the control chip being broken. Because that reminds me of something that was that was a major plot point in a TV show, in a puppet show from my childhood that was later remade as a CGI show.
Okay.
Of the late great Jerry Anderson.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if Swappers
So
put a little homage into something.
But then again, it makes it may be again one of those things. Maybe, but it may not be coming again. It makes it a bit. I happened to watch the day before I listened to that. I was watching a retrospective review of that TV series, and something was in my mind. So I don't know.
Well, you can DM them on X.
Yeah, you promise you need to follow each other on X, I think.
Well, that's not hard. He I know you rarely use it, but he's there, so you can do that. And
because it's not the sort of thing you'd want to sort of sound as if you're saying, "Oh, you nicked this from somewhere." It's more a case.
Oh no, that's not your
exactly. Which is not what I'm saying at all. It's more a case of. Yeah. Was this an inspiration, which is purely something you come,
Yeah, right. Well, folks, I think we're going to call it a night. It seems like the world over, something about that match today decided for everybody it's time to go to bed early.
Yeah.
So we're going to call it a night, but we'll finish it next week. Some really important, concepts come up. I mean, it's the hardest part of the movie, but at the same time, I mean, the hardest, like emotionally speaking, still very good film, but, it's a hard thing to watch, but it does bring up like concepts of, are there things that are more important than just continuing to live when, maybe your own sacrifice, shall we say, could have so much meaning. And so we'll be talking about that next time.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. And thanks again, Colin, for your time. Our next episode will be Sunday. We're doing Babylon 5. It's the Inquisitor, I believe.
Yeah. No one expects
the Spanish Inquisition.
No one expects the Volan Inquisition.
Or the Inquisitor, not to be confused with the Inquisitor from Red Dwarf.
Yes.
That one was pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah.
I think we're going to call it a night, folks. Good night.
Okay.
And we'll see you next time.
Night, folks.